from the plant morphology family? Is there anything from entire plant family, plant morphology portion? No. Then we'll start. We'll start today this classification of organism. Okay. Hello. That biological classification. Biological classification. This was, we know very commonly that there is one classification. There is, in the classification, all the organisms have been grouped, and the largest group that is called the kingdom, is that? So the organisms have been first divided or kept them in a larger group, that is the kingdom. And there are different number of kingdom in different types of classification. This one most popular classification is a two kingdom system. In the two kingdom system, there is a kingdom Plantae, number one, Plantae, and number two is Animalia. This kingdom Plantae, this one is any a plant kingdom, and animal kingdom. Okay, these two kingdoms were there, and this was developed during the Linnaeus time. Okay, and this is, of course, is still in practice, is there. Of course, very popular system of classification that given, and all the organisms were divided into mm, uh, two kingdom, and the organisms were kept either under the plant kingdom or under the animal kingdom based on certain characteristics. Say in the plant, that cell has cell wall, and in the those organisms kept in the animal kingdom which does not have cell wall. Main basis was this, and then other factors from the external morphology, that we can see animal and plant, the differences, that one another one is locomotion, that plant cannot move. Okay, there is no locomotion, but in animal locomotion is there. These two were the main criteria that the plants organisms were divided into two kingdom, and this was very easy to use, also very easy to understand. Those who don't study botany or zoology, or they're not going to school even, also they everyone know that which one is plant, which one is animal. So that way it was kept. But the first scientific mode of classification started by Aristotle, who classified all the plants into three groups: trees, shrubs, and herbs. Uh, Time to time, many people they have classified plants and animal based on different characteristic, different uses. But the scientific studies that started later on. In the two kingdom system, there are several demerits. Okay, demerits of two kingdom system. In the two kingdom systems, there is, say, this system did not distinguish between eukaryote and prokaryote. There was no distinction. Bacteria, okay, which were prokaryote, this blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, prokaryote, they were kept under kingdom Plantae, okay, which contain, of course, most of the eukaryotic organism. There was no grouping of unicellular and multicellular organism. The Plantae contain many unicellular organisms and as many multicellular. Animalia also contain unicellular organism like protozoa and metazoa, multicellular organisms were there. Photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms were not distinguished because basically, of course, the Plantae, they are autotrophs. Okay. Under the Plantae, they are autotrophs, and Animalia, it is heterotrophs. But under the Plantae also, there are were heterotrophs, like that the fungi, which is a heterotroph, okay, that was kept under Plantae along with the autotrophs. Okay, so there are a lot of anomalies were there in this two system classification, and that's why the people were trying for a better classification. So they made three kingdom, four kingdom, five kingdom, six kingdom, even seven kingdom classification. But the best one which became popular, that was the five kingdom system proposed by Robert Whitaker. He gave a five kingdom system of classification, and that is now at present day is the most popular one, and we have to learn about that. Here all those larger groups were are five, and this in this classification the criteria, that is the character that was taken under consideration, was first thing is the complexity of the cell structure. Cell structure here mainly whether it is prokaryote or it is eukaryote. So prokaryotes have been kept separate from the eukaryote. So in this classification, the prokaryote and eukaryote have been separated. Then the complexity of the body structure or the level of body organization, or we can say the thallus organization. Here the unicellular, and whether it is unicellular or it is multicellular, those also have been again separated. The body organization, complexity of body organization. Then one of the very important things were taken, that is the mode of nutrition, whether they are heterotrophs or autotrophs. Say like here in this two kingdom classification, autotrophs, heterotrophs were not segregated properly. But here heterotrophs and autotrophs were tried to separate in a separate kingdom. Okay, so that nutrition were considered, and then reproduction, and one very important thing is evolutionary relationship, in which way that the evolution has taken place. That is, mm, so reproduction and the phylogenetic relationship, that is evolutionary history. This one has been taken under consideration. That is how it has been, the phylogenetic relationship. All right. So these were taken under consideration, but say there is no classification which are not mix of the merit and demerit. In every classification, there is some merits and there are some demerits also. Okay, so this five kingdoms classification was introduced to remove the demerits which was there in two kingdom system, but still in the five kingdom systems also there are demerits, but many merits are there. So here in the five kingdom classification, the kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. One very important thing is that in every classification, okay, these two kingdom, that is the earlier classification, they have been kept as such. Okay, Plantae and Animalia are there. Here, three new kingdom has been introduced: Monera, Protista, and fungi. Here, one thing that the fungi, which was earlier along with the Plantae, that has been separated and given a separate, a different kingdom. So these are the five kingdom. This kingdom Monera is the kingdom of prokaryote, all the prokaryotic organism here. So one kingdom is for prokaryote, and the rest of the four kingdom, they are for the eukaryote. Okay, so only one for prokaryotes and four kingdoms are for eukaryote. Within this eukaryote, they have been again grouped into unicellular and multicellular organism. So kingdom Protista is kingdom of unicellular eukaryotes. Okay, here it is unicellular eukaryotes. So this one is again unicellular, and these three, that fungi, Plantae, Animalia, they are multicellular. Okay. Next is kingdom fungi. This kingdom fungi is a multicellular decomposer. Here fungi is heterotrophs and they are decomposer because they feed on their nutrition is heterotrophic. They cannot synthesize their food. They feed on the dead organic matter or live as a parasite. So they are the mainly the decomposer. Okay, decompose that break down the complex organic material of all other organism. So this is fungi kingdom. This one is the fungi is first thing is it is heterotroph, heterotrophs with cell wall. Okay, because in this classification there are two kingdom of heterotrophs. One is kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia is heterotroph and kingdom fungi is heterotrophs. Okay, but kingdom fungi here they have cell wall in their cell like plants. Okay, but they are heterotrophs. In Animalia they are heterotrophs but they don't have cell wall in their cell. So it is here. So fungi are heterotrophs with cell wall. Kingdom Plantae they are autotrophs with cell wall. Plantae, Kingdom Plantae is autotrophs with cell wall. And Animalia heterotrophs without cell wall. So this way, this has been classified. Now the different kingdoms, characteristics of different important. We look into quickly the different kingdom and their important character here. Kingdom Monera, as we have learned that it is the kingdom of prokaryotic organism. So all members are prokaryote. This is the first thing, and they are naturally they are most of them are unicellular, but multicellular colony filamentous structure also there. Mm, Nutrition here is a different types. Nutrition it varies right from autotroph to heterotroph. Okay, autotrophs are there, heterotrophs are there, and also symbiotic organisms are there. So nutrition is varied, a different type. Cell wall, where there is cell wall, in most of them contain cell wall, but in some other cell wall is absent. Where the cell wall is present, the cell wall contain the peptidoglycan. Okay, a peptide containing carbohydrate, amino acid containing carbohydrates is the important feature. This one is there, which is not present in plants and that fungi. Reproduction here, reproduction, that one of the criteria of the classification was the reproduction. In this kingdom Monera, reproduction is asexual, sexual reproduction is actually true sexual reproduction is absent. True sexual reproduction is absent. So reproduction is mainly asexual. Here you can add that the true sexual reproduction is absent. Genetic material is, that is the all the other prokaryotic characteristics. Prokaryotic cell genetic material DNA is not associated with histone protein, which is the characteristics of all the eukaryotes. Okay, so here without histone, so naked DNA, and there is no nuclear membrane. Okay, and some they can fix a nitrogen. The spindle formation does not take place, so cell division is membrane bound organelles are absent. These are the characteristics of the prokaryote. This includes Archaebacteria, bacteria, and cyanobacteria, actinomycetes, mycoplasma. Here only the mycoplasma is not having cell wall. Okay, mycoplasma, this one is without cell wall. Okay, then the kingdom protista. Kingdom protista, it is unicellular eukaryote. This includes all unicellular eukaryote. So here from this kingdom includes all the unicellular organisms earlier kept under the kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. All the unicellular, say protozoa, which were kept in animal kingdom, unicellular animals, belongs to this. All the unicellular plants, they belongs to this. So this group become a mixture where we can see that the unicellular organisms, some are plants, some are animals, some are photosynthetic, non-photosynthetic. So this is a mixture, diverse, based on the nutrition. If we see, it is a diverse type. Autotrophs and heterotrophs both are included here. Sexual reproduction, of course, present. Sexual and asexual reproductions are there, but in this group one thing is there, that embryo formation does not take place. Sexual reproduction is there, but embryo formation does not take place, which is the characteristic feature of the multicellular organisms. Okay, most of the multicellular organism, the embryo formation takes place, but here as it is unicellular structure, embryo are multicellular structure, multicellular juvenile structure. So here no intrusion, most of the member are aquatic. Then flagella may be present, may not be present, and cell wall. Flagella is a 9 plus 2 arrangement is there. This is the characteristics of eukaryote, but in prokaryote, in bacteria, some of the bacteria flagella is there, but there that composition is not in 9 plus 2. Cell wall is present in some group, as I told, the DNA associated with histone. All these uh, eukaryotic characteristics are there. This kingdom protistizes heterogeneous assemblies of unicellular and colonial plants, animal, fungi, slime molds, etc. This is this one is again a demerit of the five kingdom classification. Here, unicellular as well as colonial organism. Colony, that is the loose arrangement of the single cells. So they are more or less, you can say these colonial forms are more or less multicellular type. Okay, there is animal, fungi, slime molds, so those things are there. So again, it is a mixture. Here, diatoms, dinoflagellates, slime molds, serpentines, ciliates, sporozoans, etc. of two kingdom classification. In this two kingdom classification, these were either in the plant kingdom or in then kingdom fungi. Kingdom fungi, it is a multicellular decomposer. Okay, here organisms are naturally multicellular eukaryote and it is achlorophyllous, that is heterotroph. They cannot synthesize their food. Their nutrition is absorptive type nutrition. They absorb. They either so heterotrophs means either saprophyte or parasite. Some are symbiotic, lichen. The difference is here that cell wall is made of chitin, a non-cellulosic polysaccharide. This is also carbohydrate, but this is non-cellulosic. See, in case of plant, the cell wall is made of cellulose. Okay, plant cell wall is basically made of cellulose, but here the cellulosic cell wall is absent. It is non-cellulosic, and this one is a chitin. This is also known as, this one is synonymous, that is called the fungal cellulose. Chitin or fungal cellulose, you can say. As it is a heterotroph, so reserve food material is glycogen and fat. In the in plant, the reserve food material is starch. Okay, so here the reserve food, like the animals, the reserve food material is glycogen. Body of fungus is filamentous mycelium. Tissue differentiation is absent. Reproduction is all, that is vegetative, asexual, and sexual. Okay, all type of reproduction is there. Fungi along with bacteria constitute the major decomposer of the biosphere. They are this point you should remember. They are the one which decompose the body of the other organism, the animal, plants. Okay, so they help very much in the nutrient cycling on this biosphere. Fungi includes molds, mildew, yeast, rust. See this one, yeast. Yeast is a unicellular. Okay, yeast is unicellular, but still this yeast has been kept under this kingdom fungi with the multicellular organism. This is anomaly. This is abnormality. Then kingdom plantae is this eukaryote, multicellular, multicellular eukaryotes, cell wall with cellulose, and they contain plastids for photosynthesis. Nutrition is oxygenic photosynthesis. This is one thing, this is not that simple oxygenic, it is not the simple photosynthesis. Oxygenic photosynthesis, that is photosynthesis produce oxygen. During the photosynthesis, oxygen is produced also. Okay, so oxygenic photosynthesis, reserve food, starch, reproduction, all sexual, asexual. Okay, presence of cell wall tissue system, kingdom plantae contain algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperm. Then the kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia, this is kingdom of multicellular consumer or heterotrophs. They are the consumer. This fungi, they are multicellular eukaryotic decomposer. Here it is consumer. Organisms are multicellular eukaryotes, lack cell wall, plastid. Nutrition is heterotrophic, it is holozoic or ingestive. Holozoic, that is we call animal like food, means uh, they can bite, they can chew, they and they take in the solid food and digest it inside. Reserve food is glycogen. So here glycogen and fat, here is similarity with the kingdom fungi. Growth definite. In plantae it is indefinite growth. Well developed tissue system. Movement of locomotion is common in case of animal. In case of plant, movement of locomotion is not there. The reproduction, sexual and embryo formation is there. This contain sponges, coelenterate, worms, insect, mollusk, amphibian, reptile species. This merits and demerits. As I told that there are merits and demerit mixture is there. Some of the merits of this system is that they have separated the eukaryote and prokaryote. So kingdom Monera has been given for the prokaryotic organism. That is very, very important. Fungi has been removed from the kingdom plantae of two kingdom system. This classification plant and animal kingdom are homogeneous. Then the two kingdom system. It is phylogenetically more reasonable. Means evolutionary, evolutionary history has been maintained to uh, for classifying the organism. Means organisms have been arranged according to their increasing complexity. This is increasing complexity. Unicellular organisms has been separated. Okay, these are few important, but there are demerit, disadvantage. Kingdom Monera and Protista are still heterogeneous. See, in Monera, Kingdom Monera, this is prokaryote. Okay, but in this prokaryote, many are having cell wall without cell wall. Autotrophs, heterotrophs, both are there. Heterotrophs are there. So it is a mixture. So that's why Monera and Protista, they are in Monera, the true bacteria. Some are having their bacteria, they have the cell wall. The mycoplasma is without cell wall. Okay, this many some bacteria are photosynthetic, chemosynthetic autotrophs. Others are heterotrophs. Cyanophycean member, they are all autotrophs with cell wall. So this is a here heterogeneous group, and in Protista, of course, it is prokaryote, eukaryote, but photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms are there. Organism with cell wall and without cell wall are there. So it is just a mixture. Phylogenetic relationship not fully reflected, particularly in lower organism. Of course, for reflecting phylogenetic relationship, though it has been tried, but not fully phylogenetic. Some of the unicellular algae, particularly Chlamydomonas, Volvox, unicellular fungi, yeast have been kept under along with the multicellular organism. Okay, so this is the some of the things related to the classification of the organism. Now mm, we will do this solve some of the questions. Okay, few questions quickly from this. Okay, the first one, the two kingdom system of classification does not distinguish between what here.
All of
This
these,
is actually yes, all of this. This is the demerits of the two kingdom system. There is no segregation between the eukaryote, prokaryote, unicellular, multicellular, autotrophs, and heterotrophs. So all these. So our answer is all these. Next one, the five kingdom system of classification was proposed by, this is R.H. Whitaker. No, he proposed the five kingdom system classification. Next is number 3. Oh, sorry, this number 2 and 3, the same question has been, okay, same question, but this has been replicated. Okay, okay, come to this one. Which of the following is not the basis of five kingdom system of classification? Not the basis of five kingdom system of classification. So, not the basis, which one?
Option 4, sir.
Yes, this is the one because in this cell structure, the body organization, that is the or the thallus organization, complexity of the body organization, in any way you can call it, the complexity of the cell structure, the reproduction has been considered, then nutrition, is it? Nutrition, reproduction, and what are the other? The phylogenetic relationship. Genetic relationship. This were the criteria. This reserve food has not been considered for this. Okay. Next, in Whitaker's five kingdom classification, viruses were kept in which group? This four kingdom, kingdom Monera, Mycota, Protista, none of the above. Which one? Which will be the
Option
answer?
4.
Yes. Hello? Yes. Which one?
Option 4.
Option 4. Yes. For viruses, there is no kingdom has been assigned for the viruses because this is the classification of the living organism, okay, and viruses, they do not fall under the cellular theory, cell theory, okay. The viruses are not the cells, their viruses are, they are acellular, because to be a cell, the first thing they should have the protoplasm. To be a cell, they should have the protoplasm, which is the living substance, living matter. Ah, that is the living matter. So this is not present. And to be a cell, they should have the protoplasm surrounded by cell membrane, and there is a nucleus, okay, minimum cellular structure is there. Uh, so this viruses, they have a protein, a box of protein coat, is it? And within that they have either DNA or RNA. Both the nucleic acids are not there, only one of them. That's why the viruses are either DNA virus or RNA virus. Okay. So they are, as they are not falling under the cell, okay. So they have not been classified mm, along with other organism. So there is no kingdom specified for the viruses. Viruses are out of the cell theory. So, so there is no. Next is uh, position of bacteria in the system of classification proposed by Linnaeus. Position of bacteria in the system of classification proposed by Linnaeus. This is the Monera, Protista, Plantae, Animalia, where the bacteria has been kept. Yes, bacteria has been kept in which group? There was,
Plant.
yes, bacteria has been kept under this plenty, because in the linear system there is only two kingdom. So organisms are these Monera protista were not there in the linear that system. Okay, so they were kept. All the organisms were kept either under Animalia or under Plantae, and the Plantae of that two kingdom system contain all, that is the bacteria, this cyanobacteria, lichen, okay, all these were under Plantae, and also the fungi. So the kingdom Plantae contain bacteria, cyanobacteria, lichen, fungi, algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and angiosperm. All were kept. So this is bacteria, cyanobacteria, lichen, fungi were under Plantae. And in Animalia, that is particularly the protozoans, no, unicellular zoans were kept under Animalia, which is at present it is under Protista in five kingdom classification. Here is one question number 7. This is select the correct match with respect to the Whitaker system of classification. In the Whitaker system of classification, which one is correct? Monera, the unicellular and multicellular osmotrop. Osmotrophs, so that is the saprotroph. Okay. Saprotrophs. Saprotrophs are those that we call saprophytes. Saprophytes, for the when we use the term phytes, means it is related to the plants only, and saprotrophs can be used for as a common for both animals as well as for plants. So organism using getting their nutrition from the dead organic matter. Okay, so unicellular, multicellular osmotrophs, producer and decomposer, true cellulosic cell wall, Monera, select the correct match. Protista, unicellular, eukaryotic, photoautotrophs, and chemoautotrophs. Fungi is multicellular, loose tissue, eukaryotic, osmotroph, chitinous wall. Animalia, multicellular, eukaryotic, organ or organ system, holozoic, no saprovic, and autotrophs. Which one is correct? Most correct.
So number three.
Yes, this one is most correct one. The fungi, it is a multicellular and loose tissue. Tissue is they don't have much evolved tissue system. There is no differentiation. Okay, it is all eukaryotic, and their osmotrophs chitinous cell wall is there. Okay, this one in the Monera, what is where is the problem? That unicellular, multicellular, that is true. Osmotrophs in Monera, that autotrophs as well as the heterotrophs are there. Okay, producer decomposer, it is correct, but it is here written only the osmotrophs. Cellulosic, true cellulosic cell wall, this one has a problem because in the Monera there are bacteria they have the cell wall is slightly different than the eukaryotic cell wall, eukaryotic plant cell wall. Okay, protozoa, yes, it is unicellular eukaryotic. That protista, photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs, but under protista heterotrophs are also there. Okay, that has not been mentioned here. Right, so this one is not true. And in Animalia, multicellular eukaryotes, organ or organ system that is there, holozoic mode of nutrition, no saprobic and autotrophs. Saprobes are there. Okay, so they have nutrition absorptive type also. So this is, and okay, so this one is third number. Then come to next. Select the incorrect statement. Nostoc and Anabina have heterocyst for nitrogen fixation. Incorrect, we have to select. Cyanobacteria often form blooms in polluted water bodies. Heterotrophic bacteria are more abundant in nature. Cell wall of mycoplasma are made of chitin. Which one is not true?
Number four, sir.
Yes. Say, as I told that mycoplasma, they don't have. In the kingdom Monera, in kingdom Monera, mycoplasma is not having cell wall. All others, they have the cell wall. Bacteria, cyanobacteria, actinomycetes, okay, they have cell wall, but this mycoplasma, they don't have cell wall. Here actually no cell wall. So there is no question of whether it is made of chitin or it is made of cellulose. Nostoc and Anabina, they have a heterocyst, a special type of cell. Okay, so say if this is the nostoc, in between they have a special type of cell. This is the large, having little bit of thick wall and a special type of cell. This cell is, they have enzymes for the conversion of nitrogen. Nitrogenase enzyme is there, and this special type of cell is the heterocyst. This one is specialized for nitrogen fixation. The nostoc and anabina are blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. They are cyanobacteria. Okay. Cyanobacteria often form blooms. That is a large, very um, large quantity of means growth is there. Entire water body is covered with this cyanobacteria, and they float on the surface of the water, and any other things cannot grow. Okay, this is and as their photosynthesis is oxygenated photosynthesis, so they produce oxygen also. So their body of the cyanobacteria, they float on the surface of water, and also due to their growth, some chemical they secretes in the water body, so that water is not suitable to grow the other organisms, or it is not suitable for drinking also. So this is a problem sometime in the water reservoir, water bodies. Mm. So vigorous growth of the blue green algae, that is the blooms. Heterotrophic bacteria are more abundant. This is true. Uh, Actually, in the bacteria there is autotroph, heterotroph. Various type of nutritions are there. They have autotrophs. In the autotrophs also two type. One is photo autotrophs, another one is chemoautotroph. Chemoautotrophs is there. Then in heterotrophs, they have saprobes, saprotrophs, and parasitic. So here parasitic as well as sapro, saprophytic. Saprobes are there. Then again there is symbiotic. So in bacteria, the nutrition is different types are there, and so this is also true. So this number 4 is not correct. Then 9, the primitive prokaryote responsible for the production of biogas from the dung of ruminant animals includes the thermoacidophiles, methanogen, eubacteria, halophiles. Which one?
Methanogens.
Yes, it is the methanogen. This is oh sorry. This one is this is methanogen, that is the methane producing. Methane producing methanogen. So these are actually archaebacteria. Bacteria as a whole, okay, they are methanogen thermoacidophile. Thermoacidophils are bacteria which can survive in the acidic, okay, and very high temperature. High temperature and acidic condition. And one is called the halophiles. Halophiles, halogen, like that is the salt. This is highly saline soil or highly saline habitat. Okay, so there is, and this methanogen, this biogas is biogas. Main composition of the biogas is methane. Methane is the main composition of the biogas. So ruminant element, those cows, buffaloes. uh, Unicellular algae Chlamydomonas belongs to which kingdom in the five kingdom system?
Kingdom Monera.
Kingdom, no, Monera. Unicellular Chlamydomonas is eukaryote. This is eukaryote. Kingdom Monera is for, this is for prokaryote. Here bacteria and cyanobacteria. Okay, this it should be in the, this is, this one Chlamydomonas is this is unicellular green algae, belongs to chlorophyceae. In the algae, it belongs to chlorophyceae. Okay, there is cup sap in these. There is a cup sap plastid. Photosynthetic flagella are there. Eye spot is there. So this is Chlamydomonas. And another one is called chlorella. Chlorella is more or less, it is circular, non-flagellated. They also have the more or less cup-like structure of the plastid. This one, actually this unicellular eukaryotes, this Chlamydomonas is unicellular eukaryote. This one should be in kingdom Protista, is it? This should be in the kingdom Protista, but this one is an exception, that this Chlamydomonas has been kept under kingdom Plantae, which is a kingdom of that is multicellular organism. Okay, so this type of question you may make mistake here. This features of the Chlamydomonas are so vigor that they could not be separated from the kingdom Plantae. This has been kept along with other algae. Actually, this is algae. Hmm. They have been kept along with the algae. They could not be separated. Separating them from the algae then create problem for other algae. They cannot be studied separately because based on similarity with other algae is more. Okay, like that, this Chlamydomonas and chlorella. Okay, like this, there is yeast. I told these are the demerits. Yeast is unicellular fungi. Fungi. This has been kept under the kingdom Mycota, that under along with the fungi, along with the multicellular organism. Okay, so these are today in the next class. We'll have some other from the algae, fungi,